All right. All right. What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Joey365 with another episode of Real African Stars. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel.
Sure.
Please leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the stream. And make sure you follow us on Instagram at Real African Stars as well as Real Joey365. And I'm here with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
How's your weekend?
Weekend is good. Still going.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Good, relaxing weekend. Training for my half marathon. So.
Oh, yeah? You think you ready for that?
No, absolutely not.
I don't know. So how long you been training? Are you?
I just started. I'm just, in the beginning stages. So
How's that journey going?
it's tough. I'm not a runner, but I'm going to. I am a runner. I speak what you are. I am a runner. I'm a beginner, but yeah. End of October.
Yeah.
Come out and support me.
I don't know about the training and running life. I'm not about that, but I do work out as well. But a marathon is something totally different. I don't think I'm built for
starting
that.
at half marathon.
Oh, okay. You're not ready for the full marathon?
13.1 miles we'll start with.
Lord. How long does that normally take?
That's, for most people, it takes between 3 and 4 hours. And right now, my time is at, it'll knock me down. Yeah, I'm at 3 hours now with my.
More power to you. I can't even fathom.
3 hours, 15 minutes, actually. Yeah.
I'm over here complaining about running 2 miles. You want to run 13, man. Hopefully we see you after that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I like to challenge myself.
Oh, man. All right. So with no further ado, let's get into it. On this episode, we're talking about male. What is it? Male emotional exploration.
Yeah.
Oh man, what do you think?
This is Real Joey's favorite topic.
No. I'm not a big fan of men showing their emotions. So this is why it's important to get into this topic so we can explore and see why men run away from this topic and sharing their emotions.
Absolutely.
With no further ado, let's get into our first video and let's see what he has to say about this topic, and we'll give our input like we always do. Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's see what this young man has to say, and we'll talk about it on the other end. All right, let's get into it.
Pull away when they start catching feelings. Ooh, this hit me in a certain place because I used to be a victim of this. Men don't have a lot of places that they feel at peace in. And when you provide peace and they're so used to chaos, it goes against what their habitat of life has been. Maybe, they had a naggy mother, or maybe they didn't get the type of love from their parents and felt neglected. So now having a woman that's in front of them that's willing to give them the world, it may be a little bit overwhelming because they haven't had that. And sometimes the safe thing to do is to self-sabotage the situation so that we could feel back at peace in the chaos that we've always been around. Is it right? Absolutely not. Why do men pull away when they start catching feelings? Ooh, this hit me in a certain place because I used to be a victim of.
All right, so
let's.
No, go ahead.
No, I'd love to hear your response to what he had to say.
I think most men, we don't want to seem vulnerable. Sharing our emotions is like showing signs of vulnerability, right? And it's just, as men, it's just not something that we're accustomed to doing, right? And it just seems like just for example, right? Growing up, you have your dad dealing with men, right? Men tell you not to cry, don't show your emotions, don't show weakness, right? Yeah. And it's just how we're built. We're told not to explore and expose. It's like being exposed. Yeah. You know what I mean? And as men, we don't want to seem weak,
Yeah.
and men are just supposed to suppress their emotions. That's just how we're built, and that's just what it is. So I guess most men don't want to share their emotions, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And from experience, sharing your emotions, especially to a woman, is just you you know that maybe that person, or depending on the woman, they might use that against you later on. You know what I mean? So most men don't want to feel vulnerable. They don't want to seem weak, and we suppress that part of ourselves. And it is what it is. You know, even today, I think a lot of men just suffer in silence and just keep it to themselves, and that's just how we're built. So you see a lot of women say, "Oh, I want a man that's emotional. I want a man to be able to share his feelings." But are you do are most women receptive to hearing a man's feelings? Most likely not. You know.
Yeah. No.
You know, and do you let me ask you this: as a woman, if a man shares his emotions to you, how do most women, not you, how do you think most women would accept that?
You know, that's a complicated question. I think it's you know, if I'm speaking about, you know, a majority of the women I know, it's like these are women who are educated, who have done their work, and I do think that exactly what you're saying. You know, we have society tells us that men need to be hard and strong and don't cry and suck it up. And what has that produced, right? That's produced a society of men who are not in touch with self, who suffer in silence, men who commit suicides at rates far higher than women. So we know that logic doesn't make sense, and you're a human who's born with a full scope and spectrum of emotions. Anger is not the only emotion that you have, right? But we oftentimes see that's the emotion that men are anger and aggression that men are much more comfortable with sharing. So I do think that everything you said is indeed very true, and I do see pockets of men who are talking more openly about emotions, who understand the importance of healing and talking through that. And I really think it's important, if we are asking men to do those things, that we create spaces, safe spaces, where men can have that open dialogue, right? And I think that starts with men. You know, I'm just thinking about where I come from. I remember on Sundays, men gathered together and they had a facilitator, and it was just a non-judgment zone. It was only men, and they would just come and talk and flesh out their problems, right? They had a psychologist who was there to kind of facilitate some of that. But I'm just like, man, like, you're right. You guys suffer in silence, and it's not okay. It's not okay at all.
Yeah, I think those things are true. In my opinion, I don't think a lot of men, even if they have a woman who is receptive to hearing their softer side, I don't think a lot of men still feel that they can do that, because as a man, you're supposed to be the backbone, and
Yeah.
you're supposed to be strong, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it is beneficial for the man to share that side of himself. That's just the way the society is. We don't feel comfortable with sharing that side of ourselves. But I
Yeah.
guess to help better our relationships and things like that, we need to. It's still hard for me to even say it. Share your emotions.
And
Lord, that's tough.
and even right, and I think it calls, right, it's a call for, it's a responsibility on both parties, because how dare I ask my man to share his emotions, and when he does, I weaponize those things later on. Like, that is wildly unacceptable. And right, I think we're all kind of walking through this journey together. It's like, for you to connect with your woman, there is a level of vulnerability that's required for love to grow and build, and safety to grow. You know, it's for safety to be there for both parties. Vulnerability is required, when for love, for people to be in love. there has to be some vulnerability, and vulnerability is not weakness, right? You have to be so brave and so courageous to be vulnerable and share ugly parts of yourself. So I give kudos to the men who are doing the work, who are willing to go out on a limb, who are, you know, just building that muscle, because we know that it's a muscle that has to be built. It's not something you all are accustomed to doing, but it's necessary.
Do you really want your man?
Hell yeah. I already know what you finna say. Yes. I want my man. My man can cry to me. He can lay on my bosom.
Man,
He can now, bro. You can't come home from work crying every day, but like you can't, right? No. Let's talk. No. What I'm saying, I mean, obviously, it's just like I can't even be emotional every day. That's unacceptable, right? It's just like when things hurt you, you're a human.
Mm-hmm.
My expectation is that you are a human with feelings.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when we do not express our feelings? That's energy. Emotions are energy, right? Like it has to go somewhere. What happens when you keep pressing that down and pressing that down?
You eventually explode.
Boom.
It's just human nature. We all do that. For men, I just think that's just the way we're built.
Not even that. You're conditioned. And it's a learned behavior, right? Like you don't come out the womb saying like I'm a man, hear me roar, beating your chest and suppressing your emotions. It is something that you are conditioned to do, which means you learned it, which means you can unlearn it. And it's not to say that it's easy, but it is wildly beneficial to unlearn suppressing emotions. And I always say, right? I always tell my friends, family, clients, like what are low risk situations where you can test some of this stuff out, right? Low risk. Where are some low risk situations where you can test out expressing your emotion? Maybe it's not something that's your deepest secret, but it's something that you're feeling right now. You know, that it's a feeling. Doesn't have to be, you know, your trauma, but it can be like, I'm not really happy about, I don't really like the way that you spoke to me, or, you know, I'm not really feeling the way things are going today. So what are some low risk situations where you can test out expressing yourself and expressing your emotions until you get more comfortable with expressing the deeper things? Yeah, take that deep breath. That's important.
Sounds good. But
it is good.
I don't think it's still practical for most men to still share their feelings, because at the end of the day, you're still the man, right? You have to deal with your woman coming home and looking at you as a leader.
Of
you
course.
know what I mean? So as the leader, you can't have, I understand, you can't just show signs of weakness, because guess what? You're the one she's looking to be strong. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah, there's times to be vulnerable, but as a man, it's still, we tend to find other ways to deal with our emotions, you know, outside of expressing our feelings. You know, we'll find other hobbies. Okay, we're stressed out, right?
Yeah.
We might handle these things out in the weight room. We might handle it by exercising, just different things, just to relieve that stress or that mental struggle that they're currently going through. So I think men have different ways of handling it. So for women, their way of doing it is expressing it. For men, I think they find outlets in the world to, you know, let out their emotions, you know. So I just think we're different. We're built differently, so we express our emotions differently. So
100%. I mean, you said so many. You know, it's so funny. You said so many things that mothers experience with their children, right? It's like you as a mother, I feel the need to be strong for my son, right? There may be things that are deeply painful for me, but I do not go and unload on my son, or I do not go and tell him all the things that break my heart, right? And so I think that it's important for him to see me live through my emotions. If I experience something that is really sad and he just sees a stoic rock, that doesn't even translate to him. What does that mean when something breaks his heart, that he's not allowed to share his emotions. So I think that they're like, imagine being with someone, right? As a man, imagine being with someone who you can be vulnerable with, and it is not used. It is not viewed as a weakness, and she doesn't look at you any less. You are still the leader of the family. You are still the king of the household. You are still her king, the person that she leans on, her place to hide, her place of safety. Imagine that type of relationship. And I know it's not far-fetched, because I know people who are in those relationships. So I do think that it's work on both parties, because I can't ask my man to be vulnerable and I can't hold space for his emotions.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's a good take. All right, let's move on to our next topic here. You want to introduce this topic?
The topic is a soft life. And this is, I think this is the preacher who is talking about expounding on what women are asking for when they're saying they want to live a soft life, right? So this is a great take on it. Let's check it out.
Let's check it out. See what Pastor got to say and his input. Let's hear what the pastor got to say.
That women don't want to do anything, but rather they simply don't want to have to do everything. We admire women for being strong, not realizing and recognizing that strength is not always their preference. They're not strong because they wanted to be. They're strong because they wouldn't have survived if they weren't strong. They're strong because they would not have advanced if they were not strong. They're strong because they had to carry things they never thought that they would have to carry. And some of them didn't know how much strength they had until they hit a season and a situation that required them to reach down in the reservoir of their spiritual and emotional well and pull out strength to carry what they didn't expect to have to carry. A soft life in its purest.
All right. What is your take on that? Do women have to carry on a burden? Well, when we're talking, I'm pretty sure he's talking about black women in this instance, because I think, in my personal opinion, you have a lot of women out there that think that they have to go through the struggle alone, and I think that's who this message is resonating to, right?
Yeah. So
you have a lot of women, but you got to understand, right? In the black community, you have a lot of women that felt that they can do it all by themselves and they don't need a man. I think this is where this comes from. They think, oh, I can carry this burden all by myself, but this is a heavy load, right? Raising kids by yourself, going out there working, providing by yourself. That is what he's talking about. So you have a lot of women that think that they can do everything by themselves, but it's not possible, right? Because there's a balance in life, right? You need somebody to balance your life out. But maybe you can expand on that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting take on it. I think that what he is talking about is like you have this movement of women who are talking about they want a soft life, and if I can take it to my specialty, right, which I love to talk about, race relations. We there's so many dynamics as to why single black woman household exists. When we're talking about mass incarceration, we're talking about the crack era. We're just talking about welfare, public assistance, which transformed, which was the welfare fund. It was that when it was offered to white veterans. And then when it was offered to our people, it required for the men to be outside of the household. So we know that there were many, many initiatives, the feminist movement, many initiatives intended to divide the black household. And they were successful. In multiple times they were successful. And what happened is, right, it's like it left women in spaces and places where they had to be, where they were alone, right? Whether it was by choice or it was by the slew of the systems that we just kind of talked about. And so no I know I don't. Nobody wants to do this, but you have to. In certain circumstances, you're forced to do this. And so I think, we're coming to a place, right, where it's okay to say, like, we want rest. Like, nobody, no female wants to navigate this alone.
So what message do you give to those women who said, I don't need no man and I can do it all by myself?
I would say that you're misguided. Can you do it all by yourself? Of course. I think if any of us are put between a rock and a hard place, we're gonna figure it out, right? That's the cloth we come from. You're gonna figure it out. But it requires you to sacrifice a large part of yourself that's unnecessary. And I think
Facts.
that men and women, when we come together and we work together and we are united, it is such a beautiful song that happens. Man, it's a beautiful melody. And the more you are informed and the more you understand the historical perspective around the divisiveness from the enemy, right? And we know who the enemy is in most cases. When we fall into those pockets and we want to separate, I mean, sometimes we got to, right? Circumstances are a little too wild and you can't stay. But I would say that, man, it's so much more beautiful when we can do it together.
Definitely agree on that one. It just goes to show that a lot of policies and initiatives that's been pushed in the Black community has really misguided a lot of women that felt, and I'm not saying men too, because you have a lot of men that rely on women to do it all. You know what I mean? And I just think that those initiatives have really hurt the community, and we need to understand that both men and women are needed, and that we need each other. The fact that we even have to say that is crazy.
And we don't understand that. And the biggest part of it is that we can say it, you can scream it from the rooftops, but you have to do your individual work, right? We all got war scars. Like, you grew up Black, you got some trauma. It's important to work through that and really understand, like, why is it that I feel like I can be this strong Black woman? I can do it all by myself. Like, who told you that? Where did you learn that? Your child is half you, half the father. So how is it, and vice versa for a man? Why is it okay for you to womanize? Why is it okay for you to leave your children's mother to do all of the work? Why is that? Where did you learn that was okay?
I just think a lot of men have seen their mother do it, so they expect their woman to do it as well.
Yeah.
So I think
course,
that
right?
this subject segues great into our next topic, where it says it's hard to submit and struggle. It's hard to submit and struggle. Let's
18 and older, 21 and older, actually. 25 and older for this conversation.
Let's go into it and let's see why it's hard to submit and struggle. Let's see what she had to say.
Suck your dick with pride. I can't. Come on, bro. Like, how you want a woman who's surviving, fighting?
Let's see that. Let's hear it.
Listen, if I'm struggling, I can't suck your dick with pride. I can't. Come on, bro. Like, how you want a woman who's surviving, fighting for survival to be? If I'm fighting for survival, there's no way I can be submissive. It's no way those two could go. If I'm fighting to live, if I'm fighting to create a life for my children, if I'm fighting every day to provide, if I'm fighting every day to do everything. It's no way I could come home and just curl up and just open my legs and love on you and just massage your shoulders, take your shoes off for you, cook you dinner, suck your dick. And like, you want me to do that with pride? It's not like I can do it with pride. It's no way I can do it with pride.
I think she's absolutely right. But that goes right back into it as she's no longer in her feminine state once she's having to do everything, right?
100%.
You're basically a man at that point. If you're going out there having to go to work, come home, clean, rub your back, watch the kids. You know what I mean? These things, she's no longer a feminine being at that point, right? And I think she's absolutely right. I don't disagree with anything she said. And you got some men that think that a woman is supposed to come home and do all those things. And
I think a majority of people
smile,
believe that. You know, and I think that this is the typical life of a woman, of a black woman. This is the typical life. Like,
but do you think they set themselves up for that though?
I think it's. I don't
you
think
got
it's.
some women that
I
are
don't
willing
think
to take
it's.
care of a man.
I don't think anyone in their right mind who is high functioning, who's functioning with all their faculties, would knowingly put themselves in this position. Again, I think it goes back to it's trauma. It is so these perspectives are so written in trauma, right? And we have to unlearn this stuff, right? We got to unfollow people who are promoting this. We have to, right? Because all of this, it's like what you see, what you take in, what you're listening to, what you're reading, what you take in every day. It shapes the way you think. And it's like some people absorb this type of crap every day. And their mother was like that. And their grandmother was like that. It's generational, you know? And where does the buck stop? And when do you say, hey, I can do something different? You know?
I totally agree with that. We killed that little topic,
We
right?
beat that topic down. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's come together and do better, because we can.
All right, a man should be able. What did he say?
A man should be able to cry in front of his woman.
Man, I think we already talked about this, really.
Can you cry?
Man, hell nah, I ain't gonna be able to. She's not gonna respect you if I cry in front of my woman. Let me see.
What about if you're? God,
let's see what he's had to say, and
Yeah.
then we'll chime in on that. He dead ass wrong if he think he about to cry in front of his girl. I'm just saying, she ain't gonna respect you, bro.
Of course she will.
Man, let's see.
Be able to do that as a man to your woman. You got to. You can't keep on suppressing it, because that will eat you up. You will not feel valued. But you will not feel valued at all. I don't care how much money you bring, how much you're delivering, what you give to them. If they don't value your opinion, your emotions, whenever you are upset, because we get emotional. We have bad days that we want to sit down and cry. But when you cannot cry to your woman because you feel like she's going to take advantage of you for that, then what are you going to do? Bite the bullet. And that's why men have the highest suicide rate.
You crying to your woman? You're not crying to your woman.
I've cried to my woman before. Well, when I was married. Why not? This is my lifelong, well, supposed to be my lifelong partner. Why should I feel sad or scared to cry to my lifelong partner? Why? Because you're a man?
That she gonna look at you after the fact.
If she's a woman about
a slight moment of weakness.
If she's a woman about her, she's gonna take that as an honor.
Exactly.
When you want to express your feelings.
Man, he better shut. Hold on. Man, he better shut that light skin ass shit up, man. Because that's some light skin shit. I wish you would cry in front of your girl, man. She'll lose all respect for you, right then and there, and she ain't gonna be able to look at you as a someone of strength. Like, she's not gonna look at you as a man after you cry. Let's just be real. No, you say no.
I would say
Right.
that again. I think it goes back to. I mean, what that's a low vibrational person.
Man,
you know,
get outta
if
here.
it's not get out of here, right? And I think we're on.
She's
there
to look at you as a leader. If you over there,
what is
crying,
wrong with a leader having let's kind of unpack this. A leader is not some stoic, unemotional statue. You are a human being. You have the same emotional spectrum that I have. What you choose to express is different. If you're, God forbid, if one of our parents passed away.
okay.
Is it like wait. One of our parents passed away. Something happened to our best friend. Something touches home for you. You mean to tell me that you will not cry in front of you will not cry to your woman because she's not going to view you as a leader.
If you lose a loved one, that is totally different.
Okay, well, what if?
But if you just coming home,
Why is no?
crying like a
Let's talk
little-
about that. Why is that different? Because that's an expression of emotion.
Yeah,
No,
but that's different.
How is
man.
it different?
If you lose somebody, okay, yeah, you be like, oh my god.
no, that's what you've classified as acceptable for you. That's what's acceptable for you to cry. But other things that may, mounted pressure on top of pressure on top of pressure on top of upset on top of, disappointment. What does crying even mean? It's a release of emotion.
Okay.
Right? It's a release.
Like I
In
said,
fact, after I cry, I feel real good.
You're a woman.
No,
You're
no,
supposed to feel
It's,
good after
no,
you cry.
no.
Men,
I'm a human.
we not.
No, but I'm a human. I'm
As
I'm
men,
a
we're supposed
human
to
being.
suppress our feelings.
But see,
It's
this
just-
is
it's
the
what it is.
evolution. This is where we have to move beyond. It is okay for a man to express any range of his emotion, right? There will be times he's aggressive. That's needed. There will be times where he's vulnerable with his woman, right? There will be times where he's very loving, right, with his woman and his children and his family. There will be times where he is very protective. That you have all of these things for a reason. Now, what you've classified as non-negotiable, that's on you. You got that's the work we have to do. It's the work you got to do.
Man.
My man can cry to me, baby.
Oh,
You can
okay.
cry to me. Whatever you can cry to me. I'm not gonna view
You better
as,
suppress that shit.
No, you gon' we
Oh,
we
Lord.
might cry together
That's
one day.
some light skin action.
When I walk
right
down
there.
that aisle, you better be crying too. You better.
So wait,
Listen,
you would accept your man crying while he coming down the aisle?
I would totally understand that because I'd probably be crying too.
All those videos I've seen those men
Listen,
crying. I'm
listen.
like, bruh.
My cousin, who is probably one of the most masculine men I know, cried when his wife was coming down that aisle. Right, like them tears was there.
I wish I would see my
Listen,
homeboy crying.
How could you?
While he coming down the aisle, bruh, we on
No,
your ass in that group
why
chat.
your woman is coming down the aisle? There,
Nah.
or not even in beyond
What you
that.
crying for?
Because
you get married.
You're in love.
Maybe you crying
Or maybe
because
they've been through a lot, and this person has stuck by you through a lot, has supported you through a lot, and you are there's a level of gratitude there that some people just don't understand.
You're getting married. Why do you feel the need to start crying?
Can
as
we
a man?
normalize men showing emotion, showing emotion other than aggression, or toughness or strength?
No.
Like being able to
In certain situations,
open
no.
up.
Wedding is not one of them.
No, listen. Wedding is oftentimes where you'll find men crying.
Oh my God! I
Because-
wish I would see my homeboy crying during a wedding.
And I also think there's cultural aspects here, right? There are cultural differences.
You better hold it in,
There are-
bro.
See,
You
that's
better,
the
you better
that's
hold.
that,
You
that's
better
that,
hold it in, bro.
No, that's what we don't want.
If you crying to your wedding,
If you are a man listening to this podcast, don't listen to this.
Just know you gonna get clowned on.
No,
in that
you're
group
not
chat.
gonna get clowned on.
You gonna
Mature
get
men are not gonna clown you for that.
Shit. You,
Any man who has been through the fire with a woman and has had a woman who has had his back through and through understands those tears.
he getting fired on. as
You
soon
just
as he get
haven't
in that
been. You
group
know,
chat.
you just haven't been there yet.
Nah,
You just
hold
haven't
it in, bro.
experienced that type of
Don't
love
listen
yet.
to him. It sounds good on the podcast.
No, it ain't. It's not about sounding good. Any. Yeah, don't
Man,
listen to this guy. He's on his journey. Okay.
I'm in my journey, man. I haven't made it that far. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly, we're working.
I ain't made it that far, man. But bro, you better not be crying on the way down the aisle.
Why
man.
she gonna cry?
Because we all
This
gonna
one's gonna be crying.
We all gonna be laughing at you. Yeah, I mean during the wedding we gonna be
Moving
laughing.
right along. What's our next video? Because this is foolishness.
Lord Jesus. What's the last? This is our last topic.
If you don't mind, what's this?
Which one is this?
Let's see.
Let me see.
Look, we done forgot. We were so deep in that conversation. Let's just play it. Let's listen. Listen in.
Okay, I think this is the one where
Oh,
would you let your man lead? Okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
you can't lead me. That's
Oh,
what she
Lord
said.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Lord. Why y'all so headstrong about letting a man lead? Well, not you in particular, but I'm just saying most women. Let's watch this. Let's watch this one
Yeah.
and give
Tell
our
us what
feedback.
y'all think about this.
Lord Jesus.
Asking Donnie, do you feel like you're easy to be led
By who?
in general?
You couldn't lead me. But yeah, I do feel like I'm easy to be led. I'm led every day. David leads me here in this. Everything he tells me to do, I do it. In a relationship, I'm led by my friends. I'm led by my mother. I'm led by people who I trust to lead me. I am led for sure. And we also have to dispel that narrative. A woman who has an opinion, a woman who is intelligent, and a woman who is not afraid to demonstrate both doesn't equate to a woman who can't be led. People are led by people who they admire, love, and respect, right? When the advice makes sense, when the leadership is coming from a pure place, when the environment feels safe, we are okay being led.
You don't mind me?
Boom.
Hold on.
That's a mic drop.
First of all, this woman can't be led. It sounds good on the podcast. She can't be led. Just by her attitude, her demeanor. She can't be. This is majority of women. No, I'm being real. This is the majority of women. The way she talks.
That you've come into contact with.
The modern woman.
That you've come into contact with.
Most modern women can't be led because they think they know it all. It just is what it is. They feel like, oh, who are you to tell me what to do? Who the hell are you to tell me what to do?
This guy is telling you, right? Are you guys picking up on his experiences?
Man, get
He's
out
had
of
some
here,
tough
man.
experiences.
But
And
this is what we see on a daily basis.
So here's the thing, right? So some of it is I agree 100%, right, with what she is saying. It is, am I going to let a man lead me into poverty? Am I going to let a man lead me into destruction? No. 100% not.
All right, let
right?
me ask you
Wait,
this.
hold on.
Go ahead.
We're not going to. So that is exactly. I mean, obviously, there seems like there's something between those two, right? He asked her this question, and it, to me, from the way it looks, it seems like their relationship is not very positive. And I don't know what his sexuality. Let's not even get into that because that's not even important. What I'm saying is that she was very clear. Her response was wildly rational. I can be led by people that I trust, where there is safety. When the leadership is coming from a pure place, I can be led by. You see, he's not listening. She was very rational in her response. She responded to him very rationally, explained exactly who she could be led by, right? Obviously, there's not trust in those two's relationship. Obviously, she doesn't feel safe with him. Obviously, she doesn't feel like he is a person that could lead her to wherever she is looking to go.
All right, so let me ask you this. In the modern world we live in today, if a woman makes 100,000 and her man makes 50, do you think that man can lead her?
100%. 100%. Because listen, and you know, I'm going to be honest, right? Thinking about like if you're a woman who makes a certain amount, or I've been in a situation where I have made more than someone I've dated once or twice, and it's not always easy. And I would say that it wasn't. No, and I would say that the burden wasn't on me. It was the man feeling insecure about him not living up to his fullest potential, about him not making. So it was really uncomfortable because at that point, I mean, if I'm deciding to date you, I'm deciding to date you and be with you. But, you know, when you have to navigate someone's fragile ego because you are sensitive, it's a soft spot. And I didn't make it a soft spot, but it's an insecurity for you because you're not living up to your full potential, and it can be very difficult to navigate that, like walking on eggshells when it wasn't. It's like if you want to do better, just do better. And how can I support you in doing better, but don't make me feel bad? Like I can't feel bad for me doing what I'm doing, you know.
So what you're saying is, in the scenario that I played out, most women.
I can't even say most women.
Okay, what percentage of women do you think?
I don't think it's a percentage. I mean, I don't know the percentage. I think it has everything to do with emotional intelligence and maturity. But we can't negate that because I think that's really important. That where is someone like vibrating? Where are they? What is the level that they're functioning at?
So
A woman who loves a man who listen. Let me tell you something. As a woman, let me tell you a little something about me, a woman who's valuable, who knows how to. A woman who loves a man, she's going to help him level up in every way. Let me tell you that. Even if you are not at your fullest potential, the value that I bring to your life is going to help you level up. That is what a good woman, right? That is a woman's specialty. You give me something, I'm going to expand it. I'm going to multiply it. That's why he keeps having me on this podcast, FYI. But no, I say that to say please, come on. No, seriously, like that's what a mature woman does. Now, two people who are flailing, right, who aren't really sure of who they are, who are operating in their insecurities constantly, that's going to be a problem. She's going to overuse the fact, she's going to weaponize the fact that she makes more than him. And if he's insecure about what he makes, he's going to.
What does that have to do with being led?
This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are not at a level of maturity that don't think that if I believe that you are only as worthy as your salary.
All right, let me ask you this, right? So this is one good example that I have. Monique, right?
Mm-hmm.
The actor Monique. Obviously she made more than, she was the breadwinner in her family. A lot of women had a problem with her submitting to her man.
What's a lot of women?
In the comment section, they were like, who the hell does this man think he is talking to Monique like this?
You know what? We also have to. Why are we negating? Right? When American culture calls, who dictates that? Who dictates a lot of that? Who is doing that?
What do you mean?
What is the divisive force between black men and black women? That's who we gotta be. Like, we can't sit here and talk about, is it women, is it men, do you think women? No. What is dictating our culture and what we're listening to? It's white folks. Yes it is. Who was the feminist movement started by? White women. White women aren't that. What I'm saying is that
white women have this issue.
It's not. But that has been that. Of course, I think some of them do. But what I'm saying is that it's not an issue. We have to recognize what has been planted into the black community. All of these, and this is what I talk about all the time. Why do we get on, we see on our platforms, black women and black men constantly kicking each other in the back. Well, you need my sperm to make a baby. I'm like it. That's stupid. That's a stupid conversation. We both need each other to have a baby. Okay. Bottom line. We know that the woman carries the baby to fruition. Right? We understand that. But it's just, why are we even talking about that? Because it's silly. The same reason, like, this is silly. Mature people who are doing their work, people who are operating at a higher level do not have these type of silly conversations. I'm going to respect my man, the man that I chose and that I love, no matter what type of money he makes. Fine.
She gonna submit to her man no matter how much she makes.
And guess what? If he's not where he wants to be, guess who's going to support him in getting where he needs to be? Me.
She gonna give him gas money, y'all. I love that. Give a shout out to that. She gonna give me pocket money, let the nigga ride his car, all that. While she at work, yeah, shout out to that. That's good.
I promise you I did something and I footed the bill for certain things, and I supported him because I saw the potential. He just wasn't fully living into his potential, and it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I love that. Sounds good. I love it. All right. That does it for our topics for today. I want to thank my guest Chris for coming in and dropping her knowledge on us today.
We will keep having conversations about this. I think this is an important topic, right? It's like, how do we find, what are the opportunities for us to connect and grow? And we just have to be reminded that we are so much better together. You know, let's get rid of the fool. No more divisiveness. Goodbye divisiveness.
Goodbye divisiveness.
Hello collaboration and connection. And
Facts. All right. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And we'd love to hear more about what you think and your input. And
we'll see you next time.
All right. We'll see you next time. We're out.